We begin all inquiries with this turning inward, becoming aware of ourselves, our body, our breath, our mind. What is the felt sense for you right now? Notice that. This is somewhere we want to be, that we're giving ourselves this time. And with really such a broad range of permission for ourselves to do this practice in whatever way is the most beneficial for us. Not to put any pressure on ourselves around, well, I should be this or I should be that. Or I should be completely focused, or I should always be kind, or whatever it may be. These somatic inquiries are a real opportunity to tune into what is it that's here? What is it that's holding me back from experiencing that deeper love and stillness? And as we see that and as we witness that and bring that into our awareness, that witnessing is part of what allows us to go deeper. And with all of our experiences, with our own practice, our own life, and then in community, we arrive in this moment in 2023 on the calendar. This might be a moment that you're really looking forward to, and a year that you're really looking forward to, or it might be something mixed or the opposite. One thing that we know about experience is that it's always changing. As much as we'd like to really solidify and grab onto the wonderful things that happen, we can't do that. And also the harder things also move through. Just to bring ourselves into that awareness and that acknowledgement of the complexity of human life. And a big part of our practice is settling into how can I be with this, with the truth of this, an accepting way, but also in a welcoming way, even things that are difficult. There's a possibility of healing and a possibility of connecting with ourselves in a kind way. Let's settle into the physical body for a moment and notice what your experience is right now in your physical body. Depending on the condition of health right now, or illness, age, all kinds of different factors that come into that. Notice your physical body and what's your experience right now in your physical body. This is such a deep practice of getting to know ourselves, not just the thoughts in our mind or the emotions in our heart. How does that feel in our body as we tune in? And almost always we could soften the places where we hold tension. Come to your forehead and eyebrows. Let that area soften as you breathe out. Eyes could either be closed or your gaze soft, whatever works best for you. We could bring that softness of the forehead into the mouth and jaw. Let go of any clenching in your teeth. Let your tongue and your sense of speech be at rest. Come into the back of your neck, the large muscles of the upper back, large muscles of the chest. And so often we brace ourselves against something that we might be dreading or something we feel we need protection from through the back of the neck and shoulders, the upper back. So we could let that soften a bit with our exhale. You also look around, notice there's nothing right now in your immediate physical surroundings that's dangerous. That also helps our body to come off guard a bit. And notice your breath. What does it feel like right now to be breathing? Is your breath soothing? Is it agitating? Our breath signals to us what's happening in the rest of our system. And as we take a few deeper breaths and relax our body, that also helps our whole system to experience directly that it's okay to breathe, it's okay to relax. Again, we can come down out of that hypervigilance. And then bringing your attention, keep the somatic awareness going of your body and your breath. And let's come into the heart, the physical, emotional, spiritual heart center. Rest here for a moment. What does your heart feel like right now? What's your felt sense when you tune into your heart? As we're going through the inquiry, we're really focused on doing it from our heart. So, not so much the brain and the head. There might be some gut instinct. And then the heart. What does our heart know? We have all of these cues coming in from the body, the thoughts, the energy, emotion, sensations in our body. As you're witnessing what's coming and going in your heart center, notice if you could stabilize a little bit with your breath. Let yourself rest, come down from the head and from thinking, and more into a somatic inquiry. What does the heart know? As we're coming into this new calendar year, if you were to say, right now, I'm experiencing complete stillness and peace, this is a reverse inquiry. Notice what comes up that says, yeah, not entirely. Let's do that. Sit with this in your heart. We're looking for what are the obstacles? What's in the way of experiencing peace and stillness? The inquiry words are something like, and you can certainly change them. Right now, I'm experiencing complete stillness, ease. I'm at rest. I'm happy. And notice if there's anything that comes up. It might come in as a sensation in the body. It might come in as thoughts as well. Well, I don't know if I can really be at peace because I have this situation at work or with a friend or whatever that might be. And then bring that into the heart as well. What is it that would need to be different in order for you to be at peace right now? And notice whatever it is that comes forward. Well, I don't feel at peace because I need this situation to be different, is usually what it is for me. There's something going on that makes me feel uneasy, or maybe I'm angry at an injustice. There's a boundary that's being crossed. There's often something that I'm fighting against somehow. That's normal that we do that. We're looking to see what are the things that are disturbing us, and then how could we sit with that? What would have to change in order for this to become less disturbing? Is there something we need to know? Someone else that needs to change? What is it that would allow us to feel a bit more settled about this? We're following the trail of what it is that's in the way of us experiencing more peace and stillness. So it's helpful to look to see, is there any core deficiency beliefs? Is there any shame? And one of the ways that we do that is by really witnessing and experiencing and connecting with the sensation in our body, along with any associated thoughts. We might be shaming ourselves for not being more at peace with something, or for the way we're not able to be more stable and kind with a friend who irritates us. Sit with that for a minute. What might that be for you? What's your experience? Keep track of what's going on in your body. If there are some disturbing thoughts, you might want to do some tapping on your forehead or put the images into frame, look at the other side of the room. So sometimes we get carried into something and we need to use those tools to come back. So just do that. Don't worry about it. Just do that and then come back. Rest your attention again in your heart center. What does your heart know? And is this something that you could release somehow? What comes to mind when you think about, I'm really angry at that situation, or I'm really afraid of this, or whatever it is? What would bring you ease? What does your heart know about that? And then see if you could cultivate and bring in more compassion, more kindness. Being an adult, being a child as well. Being a person is very difficult. There's a lot to negotiate. We have a big stored history of the trauma. We store it in our body, our mind body. And could we offer ourselves a deep connection, total kindness and compassion, letting go of all of the I should have this or I wish that, just to let go now of the events, come into the connection, the internal kind, attuned empathy that we could offer ourselves. Let yourself feel that in your heart. Notice the sensations. And this also could be a place where we notice, well, there's a thought about this that keeps interfering. So I could look into that more later. Just right now, for the next few minutes, I'm going to allow myself to absorb some kindness, compassion, to be on my own side, without having to do anything to earn that. We could extend that loving kindness to ourselves. Breathing it into the heart. And from here, from this base of attuned empathy, compassion, kindness, what might I want to call in? What might I want to shift in the year ahead? Or what might I want to call in as a resource? Something that would allow me happiness and joy. Resting in your heart center. All the love and tenderness in our heart. What might I invite in this year? Allow yourself to rest with that in your heart. You don't need to really make plans or anything right now. Notice if there's anything holding you back. Be something we could look into more as well. Sometimes it might link back to, well, I don't really deserve that, or I need to do these things first and clean this up first. So if anything like that's going on, let all of that mental chatter move to the background. For another couple of minutes, rest in your heart. In that loving connection with yourself. What does your heart know? In a moment, we're going to come out of the inquiry. Make a mental note if there's anything that you want to go more deeply into. We could do an inquiry practice like this many, many times and see more subtle layers and levels each time. And also to appreciate the love and kindness that we could offer ourselves in a really wholehearted, tender way. We could offer that to ourselves just as we are right now. We don't have to get better somehow or be more evolved or whatever it might be. We could offer ourselves to that right now. A few more deep breaths, feeling that in your heart. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.